Hello guys, I'm Srini Sethuraman from Agile Rules. Today I'm going to talk about the big data analysis with AWS. Okay, and in the AWS big data certification, there are 5 domains, and I thought of showing all this domain through a practical example. So, with set of videos, and today is the first kind of a video on that. So first domain is the collection domain where we'll be using Kinesis. Kinesis of 2 flavors. One is data Firehose, another is Kinesis Stream. Kinesis Stream is used for real time, and Kinesis Firehose is almost real time. So you get almost a minute delay things. You get it through the Firehose. So the second domain, what we'll be you seeing is the storage, and in our demo we'll be using S3 and DynamoDB. And the third domain is the processing, and for processing we'll be using EC2 and Lambda. And the fourth domain is analysis. We'll be using EMR, Elasticsearch and Redshift for this. And the last one is the visualization. We'll be using QuickSight and Glue. Okay. So for today's demo, let's trying to set up the Firehose, pumping the data into the S3, and this S3 is going to act as a data lake. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. And this is the synopsis of the steps. We'll be creating the Firehose delivery stream, and we'll be using the direct put option, and destination is S3, no transformation, and we'll be creating EC2 instance for the client machine to pump up the data into the Firehose. Okay, and we'll be running a Python program within the EC2 instance to load the data. Eventually this data is going to be pushed into the S3 through the Firehose, and that's what we're going to see. Okay, let's switch into the demo mode now. So now let's getting into the Kinesis side of it. So we will be let's go to services, say Kinesis. So if you click on this, you will be seeing getting started here, right? So just go here, go to the delivery stream, the second option. Okay, and what is the name of the stream? So I have a cheat sheet for me, so it's called Agile Rules Firehose. So I'll be doing this, and I'll be using the direct push option. And within direct push, there are 5 mode where you could give the data, like the put APIs, Kinesis agent, IoT, CloudWatch logs, and CloudWatch events. We'll be using the second option, the agent option, to push the data, to process the data. Okay. There won't be any transformation required for us, so we are going to keep it as a default here. We'll be using the S3 as the destination. We can use the Redshift and Elasticsearch also, Splunk also, but in our case we'll be using this. We need to say what S3 thing we are going to do. So I want to give some name. So most probably the name is S3. I'm going to say 3. Okay, so to make it unique, so it just created the S3 for us. So now let's go into the rest is the default. We're not touching anything. So there is a buffer condition. There are 2 arguments. One is the buffer size and another is buffer interval. What this means is the agent, right, the listener agent will be listening to the file, and if the file size is greater than 5 MB, it's going to truncate the file into 5 MB sizes, or 600 seconds, whichever happens first. But I'm going to make it as a 60 seconds so that we can see it more obvious. No compression, no encryption. Yeah, logging is fine, enabled, and IAM role. So I will be using one of the IAM role. It's called the fire delivery role. Basically, this is just giving you the admin access to the machine. That's it. Okay, so say next, and you can see the summary. This is the name, put, direct put. This is S3, blah blah blah. So create delivery stream. So this is creating the reason. It will take a minute. While this is happening, let's go here and let's see if there is a instances. I'm going to create a new instance for us. So let's try to say launch instance. So let's choose a Linux AMI thing. Okay, so T2 Nano is fine for me. All the default is fine for me. I'm not doing anything here. I'm going to choose the key as the Kinesis keypad, which I have. So acknowledge this and launch this. So okay, so this is what is being creating. And let's go to the Kinesis side of it and see. Oh yeah, very good. The Firehose stream has been created for us. One thing what we can do is we can, without writing any single line of code, we can use this test client to start sending data to the Firehose, and eventually you can see a record in the S3 bucket. So if you go here, so if you go to this, so let me just refresh one more time. Yeah, 3.3 is our new thing, right? So now you're not seeing anything here, and eventually you should see a record here based on the sample thing. Okay, let's switch back to our EC2 instance to see if your instance, yeah, it is very good. Run this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say action settings, attach an IM role, and I'm going to attach the EC2 access role. Okay, so this is basically saying that okay, I have full access to the machine. That's it, nothing beyond that. Okay, so I did that, and actually I can go to the Kinesis stream and see. Okay, the data is being sent here, and if you go to the S3 bucket, we have to just sometimes you have to wait a bit. Yeah, now I think we got some record here. See, 2000 today's date. It's going to put the goat all the way, and it created this. Very good. So now we are going to stop the data. We don't want to keep on sending this sample data here. Okay, pretty good. Okay, the next option is we are going to connect to the putty to the machine. Okay, and for that we have to go here, copy this public DNS from here, go to here, say load, and then go back. This is my old machine, so I'm going to, since I restarted, right, so I'm going to copy the new one, say save. Once I save, I'm going to say open, say yes. EC2 user is what we will be using. So you got into this. Now we need to do sets of things, and for the first one is we are going to download the input file. Okay, so wget file. I downloaded the file in my domain, so we just got it. The second step is to download the log generated.python file. Okay, so this is what the wget statement for that. And we can look into this log generated Python, right, to see some important things. So one thing is the destination file, right? This data, it is reading a particular directory called var log agile rules. So this is hard coded here, and we have to make sure the agent.json file, right? The Kinesis agent should be pointing to this directory. So we should note that down. And if you see the logic behind this, the logic is simple logic where if the store, so we are just trying to write from the source file to the destination file based on the number of lines you are going to request. Okay, so that is what this one is. So let me close this now. Okay, so now let's install the Kinesis agent now. Okay, let's see. Okay, so sudo yum command is used to install the Kinesis agent. Now I'm going to make the generated file as an executable. So even though we got the wget, we have to give the permission, right? So to make it executable, so I did that. And remember I showed the Python file was referring to the particular directory, correct? So we need to create the directory, because the Python file is not creating the directory. That's why I'm creating this directory first. and now we are going to make the directory executable or writable basically. So that's what this step is doing. Okay, now going to the Kinesis agent directory. So that is what etc has that. So now we are going to go into the agent.json file. This is the sudo vi thing, and so this is by default created, and it has two entries, one for the Kinesis stream, another for delivery stream. Since we are just worrying about the delivery stream, this for this use case, we removed the other one now, and we need to make sure that. Okay, so I'm going to, yeah, this extra line should be deleted, so I'm just deleting those. Okay, now I'm going to go. Okay, escape. Okay. So now I'm going to go inside this directory, and we have to put the directory what we are going to have, right? So let's do that. Uh, okay. So now what I'm going to do is copy from here the directory, and just having a I take here. Yeah, I got this. So the directory is there. So now I need to put the name of the Firehose here. So let's do that here. Okay, now the name is here, right? So Ajay Rules Firehose. So let's copy that from here. Okay, so I hope I can able to write and quit now. Okay, so this is done. So now what is the next step we are going to do? Um, we are going to go and we're going to go to the current directory first. So let's do that. Then we are going to run the Kinesis agent. So this is going to act as a listener kind of a thing, right? So this is the command. So AWS service, AWS Kinesis agent start to going to start it. Restart means it's going to restart it. So we can change it later if we need it. So we started this now. So now it's in the listener mode. Okay. So now we are going to run this baby, the input file generator thing, which is going to read from the big input data file 500,000 records. And what it's going to do is it's going to go to the directory and it's going to write the log file. So it's saying writing. So it's wrote, right? So which is pretty good. Now you can look into this Kinesis agent log file. Yeah, so now you'll be seeing Taylor is set is behind. So you will be seeing slowly, okay, uh, so many records are going to be read, it's going to be sending it. So this is a very active file where you can able to see what's happening. See, now you see agent tailing is 24 MB. So it's saying how much bytes behind. So it's a good way to see how much the progress of the um, data is being read from the log file to the stream. That is what is happening currently. Okay, so this is the real heavy lifting happening, and this is what is creating the data lake, right? And that is why um, the more the size of the file, the bigger the file, it's going to take more time to create that, right? So having said that, if you go to the S3 bucket, and if you go into this thing, 2019 is there, 7 is there. Oh, so now we have our original record under 20. So we should see one more record here, one more directory here soon, and that directory should have the thing. So this still doing it successfully. So many records have been. So we have request of 500,000, half of it has been sent right now. So that is what is the thing is happening. Okay, so yeah, so one of the interesting thing is, once you have this ready, right, the data lake ready, um, then you could do wonders with the data, right? The data could be coming from IoT sensors, right? Or it could come from many other resources, right? And it could be structured data, unstructured data. And the beauty of all the things is you have a mechanism, and there is an unlimited storage through S3, and you could it's very, even cost wise is very minimal, and you could able to transfer the records, um, either through real time transfer through Firehose, or semi real time. Right now we are using the semi real time option, so that the data, you won't miss any data. That is what the beauty of it, right? So the once you are in this um, IoT ages, the data is going to be humongous, right? So there will be lots and lots of source of data going to come, and you need to have a mechanism to transfer it without losing a bit of it, and then make sense out of the data, right? So that is what this demo is pre-sequel for setting up the data lake. Once you have your data in the lake, then you could do a lot more things. That is what we are trying to see. It's still taking some more time. Um, yeah, I hope it's saying records successfully destination, blah blah blah. Okay, so one thing what I can do is okay. So let's see if I send one more thing. Sometimes, yeah, it is wrote to this, right? So now it has enough records. But only thing is we need to just have a little faith on this and just wait, and then it should work. 2019 here 074420, and we still have the old record. So we should be seeing the new rows soon. Okay, so let's see the, yeah, it's still saying so much MBs are behind, so it is trying to do it. Uh, yeah, so for now, so, yeah, see, now you see all these records are come. Each one of them is having 5 MB. See, remember we told two options, either 5 MB or 60 seconds, right? So if the 5 MB comes before 60 seconds, that will be the chunk size. Okay, so we have created the data lake, and in subsequent videos you are going to see how this data will be used and massaged, and be very useful, and see you guys.